That's an experience that Dan recently became familiar with, but Twitter has been around for almost a decade.
Now, in my defense, there are others who are creating new accounts all the time, joining in on the conversation, and that includes those who protect and serve.
Tanay Amar introduces us to an officer who is making an impression with 140 characters or less.
Handing out traffic tickets, Constable Curtis Warner isn't met with a lot of gratitude.
Voluntary payment option available 2 is $136, and the payment date for that is November 18th. Very rarely in the last 3 years that I've worked in the unit do I ever get a genuine, heartfelt thank you for giving me a ticket, or I really appreciate I have to pay a fine now.
But he's found a way to engage with the public that earns more positive attention than flashing red and blues in a rear-view mirror.
Maybe the next time, I do stop somebody and they follow me on Twitter and say, hey, I appreciate this and I know why you're doing it, as opposed to people that, are really constantly upset and want to blame us for why they were speeding or why they didn't stop at a stop sign.
Constable Warner's online efforts are part of a collective effort by Regina Police Service. Today, 16 Twitter accounts are associated with the police service, including RPS Traffic Unit, Constable Warner's Twitter handle. Together, they have nearly 40,000 follows, with most eyes on the official Regina Police account.
People appreciate having the ability to reach out and ask a question and get a response. I think that people very much like that, or even express a concern. They may not always be happy with the response, but we certainly do our best to respond in a timely way and to give a plain and honest answer.
Just be careful, okay?
For Constable Warner, not every incident requires a tweet. He sends messages that warn of collisions, informs followers of traffic initiatives and bad driving behavior, like driving while intoxicated.
Deep breath and blow.
Or not wearing a seatbelt.
So you don't have a working seatbelt in your vehicle?
But one message, he says, is particularly well received by his followers is a bit self-deprecating in nature.
There's no shortage of humor related to police officers or traffic or any of that kind of stuff. So that's another way to engage people, and it's always good to make people smile and laugh.
Of course, not all the online interaction is silly memes and cheerful compliments.
I have no problem, arguing my point and saying my piece, and also at the same time listen to what they have to say. But at the end of the day, some people are absolutely unreasonable. They just want to kind of say their piece and spout off, and a lot of the time you just won't engage the person.
We're not perfect, but we certainly don't want to be a bad citizen on Twitter. So we work at, again, taking that deep breath, taking that moment to consider what the response should be and how it will be perceived, and then always trying to take the high road.
And as with most things, the high road will usually get you where you want to be, certainly when you have 140 characters in which to get a message across.
So the tweet says, just stopped a suspected impaired driver, weaving in his lane and slowing for green lights. He was just enjoying ice cream. #tasty treats.
Popowich says an online presence helps officers in providing information directly to the people who want it. And for those who might argue an officer pulling over to type a tweet is a bit of a waste of time,
I would draw the comparison with an officer being on the beat, walking downtown and taking the time to talk to passersby or stop in to see business owners.
Twitter is really just a new approach to community policing, knowing who you serve and ensuring they know who's behind the badge. Now, a Twitter handle. Tanay Amar, CTV News, Regina.